Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson,
We have. Where to?
to the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Ah, sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes!
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes, it's my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, 'cause I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
And forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
Alright, well, what's up? Raging 5678 here, and that was a very interesting intro. So, oh man, you know what? This is nice. So, always lighting nighttime way better than usual. So, see what we got in the scope here. Ugh! I remember you. Okay. Anyways, so yesterday, as you can tell, we
Hello,
finally
Toby.
finished.
All you need now is a shawl and a mop cap, and you could be Mrs. Hudson's younger sister.
Anyways, and yes, you can tell that we finally finished yesterday's case, which is alright. I mean, again, it was slow, but you know what? It was fine for what it was. The ending got really exciting though. Anyways, let's go ahead and see if we can get a good suit on. I like that one. So green me. That one's obviously dope. That one looks good too. Farmer outfit. Oh. Let's go ahead and just go with this one. Alright, let's go. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and, speaking of yesterday's case, let's go ahead and see what happened to Mrs. White. Sensation. An exotic method of murder. The arsenal at our present, sorry. Present-day criminals may soon be refilled with poisonous plants. A young and beautiful woman, in collaboration with their colleague at Kew Garden, planned the terrible murder of their director, Mr. Montague Dunn. Only one detective was capable of uncovering truth behind the tragedy. It was initially believed to be a simple heart attack. That detective Sherlock. Well, I mean, don't forget my boy Watson as well. I mean, he did notice. Young Wiggins regular sees. Okay, she did notice that. What was it called? That thing where you're born with a curled foot. I forgot what it's called. Still feet, something like that. Anyways, he noticed that. Plus, he helped capture Mrs. White too. So, if there's anything that Watson is good at, is helping these criminals not kill themselves. Because that would be like the second person to try to kill himself in this game. But Watson also managed to shoot a gun at one of our criminals' hands, so and prevent me from dying. Not the first time though. I mean that one caught me off guard. All right. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so I guess we're going down the dark, creepy alley. Nice. Liking the atmosphere so far. Alright. But yeah, case taking place at nighttime. Ooh, my favorite.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes. Is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving. Who were the victims?
The two men here, both shot. The stab fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course.
Hey, it's actually May. Oh, how interesting.
Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
Very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Well, we need to listen to these testimonies too, because they're gonna be like the main key beats here to figuring this one out.
A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some time there. He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant. The bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound. Brian Vercotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die.
Yeah, back in those days, you get shot in the stomach, that's it for you, man. So, at least I remember, you know, like, one thing I always remember growing up is that, like, say, like, in the Civil War era, if you get shot, like, anywhere they couldn't cut your body part off and, you know, have you live, then you were pretty much done for. So, could then, you know, if the bullet in the wound won't kill you, the disease will. So, thank God for modern day medicine. Oh, okay.
The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance. This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens. A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look. This shard of wood is quite new. Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story?
Have a little bit of hair growing there, my boy. You need to get that shaven. By the way, I want to know if like anybody like watching this video and watched any of my other Sherlock Holmes video, has anyone else ever like started analyzing people like with what they're wearing and you know what goes on around their neck and see if they're married or something like that? Because I actually started doing that. It's quite fun, but yeah, it's very interesting how like. I guess back in the day, you know, they didn't have as good technology, so you had to really rely on your mind more. And this is one of the creative ways that I guess I don't know if detectives really did this, but at least like, you know, Arthur Doyle, the author of the Sherlock Holmes book. I mean, some of these methods that we do here in the game is what he does in the book. So I'm gonna actually start focusing on. Figuring out what the last thing I'm supposed to look for now. Okay, so we got veteran, missing buttons. Alright. Requires support, weak leg, limping. I mean, I guess, he seems more like he's chilling out, but okay.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Gotta be Leighton.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment.
Very.
Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
Alright. Let's get everything correct here, okay? Let's get everything straightened out. Alright, so Turner is a weak limb. It makes it hard for him to walk. the piece of wood that we found. And it's a door key. Young Leighton. Leighton has been arrested. So Leighton is the brother who we are trying to find out if he could have done the murder, something like that. Otherwise, he's the brother of the kid that was in the beginning of this case. Okay, so there are some woods here, some broken woods. One thing I'm kind of wondering though is that, do we have any like bullet shells or anything? Because if anyone's like fired a gun before, or I mean, you don't even really have to fire a gun, but when you shoot a gun, at least nowadays, anyways, the casing of the bullet will always fly out. So, but very interesting. So there were fireworks going off at the same time, and the second shot was much louder than the first shot. So, notice how these two men are dead too. One of them, they're both like looking in different directions, like when it comes to their feet. So, but they're both lying on their backs as well. So that means that Kenneth had to have died looking this way, while Brian had to have died looking that way. Very interesting. Alright.
A fairly long pole with a forked end.
Yeah, I was gonna say we might have to use that later. Alright, so as far as we know, it was just Leighton, Kenneth, and Brian all together. And after the gunshots went off, Leighton ran, I guess with the gun? According to Ryan Turner. Anyways, and went towards Whitechapel where he ran into Mr. Police Guy here. And then when the police guy found this, the crime scene, yeah, he found Leighton caught with other police, so.
Mr. Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard? Is he alright?
Not yet, kid. Alright, let's see what we got here. So Mr. Turner had two different consecutive shots. Second shot was louder than the first. Two victims, Brian Vercotti and Kenneth Butler, were both found shot in the dark, narrow Half Moon Street, which is located in a grey alley in Whitechapel High Street. Turner's view, Mr. Turner stated that he remained near his window until Leighton was caught by the police, who came from the direction of Whitechapel High Street and dark window. Constable Merrow paid attention to Mr. Turner's window while he was running past the dead bodies. He did not observe anyone next to the window. It was dark in there. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and see if any of these connect, as I thought. Conflicting statements. Mr. Turner stated that he remained at the window in his flat until police arrived. However, this is in conflict with Merrow's statement, as the constable did not see anyone at the window. Yeah, but he could be hiding behind the window, or maybe he turned the lights off and hid behind the window. But either way, someone didn't give a full statement, so. Yeah, search Turner's flat. We'll do that. By the way, flats are basically what the Brits call apartments. You know, to any of my Americans out there. So there's some good things about having British friends. You know. Did you guys know that they call dinner tea? So yeah, because they love tea so much, they made it into a whole meal. Interesting. Don't know if... Well, the fact that it comes down an alleyway, the same alleyway that we were looking at, I wonder if somebody had to drive off really quick to get away from it. I don't know. Alright, let's not think too far ahead. Let's, you know, go from one thing after another after another.
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then The fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him, because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street, prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
Okay. Whitechapel High Street. So this is where Whitechapel Street is. Did we get any more clues from that? Leighton Chapman is the only person who was seen entering Half Moon Street after sorry, I just got a message. Brian and Kenneth Butler. He was seen standing over the dead body, escaping the crime scene shortly afterwards. Okay, I don't think this would connect to anything now. Okay. Let's see. And then here's Half Moon Street. Alright, let's go ahead and investigate Turner's apartment, because we need to understand what's going on between the constable's statement and Turner's statement.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
I think I'm starting to piece it together, but I'm not gonna
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly.
I think I'm starting to get something together. I'm getting a theory connected together right now. But let's go ahead and investigate this place further.
The papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here. These words are illegible. This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago. The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago. Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots. The books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here a short while ago.
Oh, come on.
A perfect match.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
Okay, I guess I might as well go ahead and get my theory out of the way, since you can probably connect it. So we found that piece of wood right next to one of the dead bodies. I'm thinking that maybe there was a situation going on outside. Turner went out there, you know, with his with a gun and shot them both. But that's just a theory. Once again, I'm not gonna say too much because you know I don't want to get driven off course, you know. So.
This kitchen knife is quite sharp. There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper. So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window. Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
So say if my theory is correct, Turner couldn't have shot them both from here, because, you know, of course, you know, we found the, you know, chip walking stick, you know, down there, but also, once again, just look at the direction of these guys died in. So, if the guy in the white suit died on his stomach facing the same direction as, you know, the other guy, then it would be a possible theory, but nah. Determine the significant event based on the details you've gathered. So I would say that he woke up first. And then okay, so then I guess you would have cut papers with a knife and then threw something into the fire afterward. And open the window. Came out here and approached the body and took something. Well, maybe, because you would have gotten the paper from somewhere, right? So maybe, instead, he woke up, then he went downstairs and approached the body. So you would have approached the body, come back upstairs, then placed the broken stick and took something. Perhaps he took the knife. And then cut the papers, throw it into the fire, and then maybe when you throw something into the fire usually rises a bit, so then he would have opened the window. I don't know, maybe. So then he went downstairs, took something, then come back upstairs, and then place his broken stick, grab something, cut something, do that, and then open the window.
No, it didn't happen this way.
Fuck me. Okay, so then got up from the bed, opened the window, nope, opened the window, approached the body, came back, put something down, cut it up, and threw it into the fire. That would be my second guess. There we go.
So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find?
That prints.
I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look. Well now,
Good book,
what
by the
a
way.
find. A precious jewel concealed inside a book. A bracelet with a unique ram's head design, a distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
Alright, Timmy Turner. What are you hiding?
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly, despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
Why are you lying, fam?
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg.
Perhaps
It
from
would
the
have
war?
taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Oh, time can pull tricks on you.
And what of everything else that you told us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
Mr. Turner, you were not sincere with me. Not then and not now.
But Mr. Holmes...
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor man. When I chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
Alright, solve the crime, interrogate Leighton, and investigate the ancient bracelet and find out how it could have appeared at Half Moon Street. Alright. So yeah. So, alright, so the guy, obviously, you know, so here's the thing, alright? So, you know, as I said, you know, he could have shot him, stuff like that. The only reason why I said that was a possible theory, too, is because he was a war veteran, and, you know, veterans seen some heavy shit. But, by the way, shout out to veterans out there. You guys rock. But anyway, so the thing was, though, we didn't find a gun in there. So, you know, again, you know, if we found a gun, maybe, but he did have a limp. So I think it would have taken some time to him to, you know, shoot whoever died first and then wobble his way around to shoot the other guy. But, yeah.
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
Alright, well, I think we'll go ahead and call this an episode here. This is, you know what? This case is this case is awesome so far. I love it. I love I love the night settings, and yeah, and it's Moira. So the classic shootings. So classic framed and murder here. So, anyways, say tomorrow we'll interview Leighton, get his side of the story, and then after that we'll try to discover the uniqueness of this bracelet that we found on Kenneth Butler's body. Well, I mean, we didn't find it on him, we found him on Turner up there, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and yeah, peace out.